In every city, there are people who believe power makes them untouchable. They stand on stages, they shake hands, they smile for cameras, and everyone applauds. But sometimes, someone is watching quietly. Someone who remembers what those smiles can hide, and sometimes that person decides enough is enough. You know the difference between us, Mr. Harmon? The orchestra stops, just like that. Forks freeze, halfway to mouths. Our crystal glasses hang in the air, as if they're afraid to make a sound. Richard Harmon grips the sides of the podium. His smile stays, polished, practiced, but his eyes shift, just slightly. Not a normal shift, the kind of shift a man makes when something has gone wrong. The ballroom is full, judges, investors, local reporters, business leaders, people who believe they are watching a charity celebration. Behind Harmon hangs a banner, Founders Charity Gala, building a better tomorrow. Then someone steps forward from the crowd, black suit, perfectly tailored, no tie-pin, no smile. Vasquez. He doesn't raise his voice. He doesn't touch Harmon. But when he leans toward the microphone, the entire room leans with him. When I destroy someone, Vasquez says calmly, I admit what I am. A pause. Then, you destroy families while accepting humanitarian awards. The words fall softly, yet they land like stones. Harmon laughs. Short. Controlled. I'm not sure what this performance is about. Check your phone, Vasquez replies. The murmur begins instantly. Phones appear everywhere. Screens light up, messages, alerts, breaking headlines, bank notifications. Harmon's face drains. Fast. Then, the ballroom doors open. Eliana Reyes steps inside. No designer dress, no diamonds. But she stands straight, shoulders steady, chin lifted. Beside her, Maya, small hand holding her mother's fingers. A pale blue medical bracelet around her wrist. Whispers ripple through the room. Why is she here? That's the tenant woman. What is happening? Vasquez does not look at the crowd, only at Harmon. You made a mistake, he says quietly. A beat. You thought she was alone. 3 months earlier, the alarm buzzes. 4:45 a.m. Eliana's hand reaches out instantly. The sound stops. Before it wakes Maya, the apartment is small. 1 bedroom, old carpet, a heater that clanks like it's clearing its throat. Eliana sits up slowly. Her shoulders ache. Her back aches. She slept 4 hours, maybe less, but she smiles anyway. Because Maya is still sleeping, and that means, for one quiet moment, the world is calm. She pours medicine into a plastic cup, checks the label, once, twice, 3 times. Heart medication. Cannot be late. She walks quietly to the bedroom. Maya, she whispers. It's time for your heart helper. Maya opens her eyes, slowly, sleepy but smiling. It's okay, she says bravely. I'm strong. Eliana brushes her daughter's hair back. Her voice almost breaks, but she steadies it. Yes, she whispers. You are. Later that afternoon, Maya comes home quiet. Too quiet. Her backpack slides from her shoulder. Eliana kneels in front of her. Did something happen? Maya shrugs. They tore up my science project. A pause. Ooh, Amber said her mum says we're getting kicked out of town anyway. So why bother? Eliana feels something tighten in her chest. Who said that? Some kids. Another pause. They said their parents told them. Eliana gently cups her daughter's face. Listen to me. Her voice is soft, but steady. We follow the rules. We work hard. Some people don't understand us. A breath. That doesn't mean we are wrong. Maya nods slowly, but children hear what adults whisper, and whispers spread. And if you've ever watched someone you love carry pain they didn't deserve, I hope life gives you the strength to keep standing beside them. Because quiet courage like that deserves to be seen across town, inside a black SUV. Vasquez watches the sidewalk. Eliana hurries across the street, adjusting her jacket against the cold. His driver glances in the mirror. You want us to check her background? Vasquez does not answer, not immediately. His eyes stay on Eliana. Then, no, a beat. I already have. The diner is loud. Morning rush, plates clatter, coffee spills, orders fly across the kitchen. Eliana ties her apron tight, her feet already ache. But she moves quickly, table to table, smile steady, voice calm, even when customers complain, even when the coffee machine jams, even when someone snaps their fingers for attention. Because survival does not argue. It moves. Halfway through her shift, the manager taps her shoulder. Can we talk? His office smells like grease, old grease, and stress. He closes the door, avoids her eyes. I'm sorry, he says quietly. We're cutting staff. Eliana blinks. But you said last week. Orders from the owner? The floor seems to tilt, just slightly. I need this job, she says, softly. The manager sighs. I know. A long pause, then, I'm sorry. Eliana nods. Because poor people hear that word a lot. Sorry. Sorry never pays rent. Outside the diner, two neighbors stand near the mailbox. She leaves early, one whispers. 3 jobs, I heard. That doesn't add up. Their voices drop when Eliana walks past. She hears them. She always hears them. But she keeps walking, because survival does not explain itself. Across town, inside a parked SUV. Vasquez watches again. The same woman. The same quiet determination. His driver glances back. You want a full report? Vasquez closes a folder slowly. Inside it, documents, property permits, real estate filings, Richard Harmon, luxury redevelopment project, last remaining tenant, Eliana Reyes. Vasquez exhales slowly. Watch, he says. Just one word. Later that afternoon, Maya sits at the kitchen table, her homework untouched, her pencil still. Eliana notices immediately. What happened today? Maya shrugs. They said we're criminals. A pause. They said the police are going to arrest you. Eliana kneels again. Her hands rest on Maya's shoulders. Listen to me. Her voice is calm, but her chest feels tight. People say things when they are scared. Why are they scared? Maya asks. Eliana hesitates. Because some answers are too heavy for children. Because they believe rumors, she says gently. But rumors are not truth. And if you've ever sat in a room like that, trying to stay strong for someone smaller who depends on you, I hope you remember something. Strength does not always shout. Sometimes it whispers and keeps going anyway. That evening, a town meeting begins. Bright lights, microphones, rows of chairs. Richard Harmon stands at the front, polished, confident. He clicks through slides. Urban revitalization, luxury housing, increased property value. Applause follows each phrase. Then a hand rises in the back. What about the current tenants? Harmon smiles, controlled. We have offered generous relocation packages. A pause. Only one resident is refusing to cooperate. Heads turn, slowly, toward Eliana. She shifts in her seat. The weight of those looks presses down on her, but she stays seated. Because leaving would look like surrender. The Harmon continues speaking. We cannot allow one obstacle to block progress. More applause. But in the back row, someone sits very still, very quiet. Vasquez. No one notices him, but he notices everything. A memory flashes. A courtroom. Years ago. His mother. Standing alone, crying quietly. No lawyer, no one speaking for her. Young Vasquez sitting in the back row, powerless. That day, he made himself a promise never again. After the meeting, Harmon steps outside. His assistant hurries over. She still won't sell. Harmon's jaw tightens. Apply pressure. What kind? All kinds. His car door slams, the engine drives away. He never notices the black SUV parked across the street. Inside it, Vasquez speaks quietly. Do nothing. The driver looks surprised. For now. Vasquez nods once. For now. Because Vasquez lives by one rule. Never reveal your hand until it matters. Later that night, Eliana sits alone. Bills spread across the table, rent overdue, medical refill in 3 days. Her fingers press against her temples, not crying, just thinking. In the bedroom, Maya sleeps, trusting, believing. Eliana whispers to the quiet room, I won't let them push us out. Outside, a black SUV idles at the curb, then drives away. Inside the vehicle, Vasquez stares forward, unmoving. Then, finally, find out who started the rumors. The driver nods. And if it's Harmon? A pause. Vasquez's eyes darken. Then Mr. Harmon is about to learn. Another pause. That pressure works both ways. The next morning, Eliana opens the door and freezes. A bright orange paper is taped to the wood. Final eviction warning. Her fingers tremble as she pulls it down. 30 days. 30 days to find rent. 30 days to move. 30 days to protect Maya. Maya appears behind her. Are we moving again? Eliana forces a smile. Fragile, tight. We're figuring it out. But something has already been decided, just not by her. Later that day, Eliana stands in line at the pharmacy. The line stretches halfway down the aisle. People sigh, people check watches, people shuffle forward impatiently. Eliana slides the prescription across the counter. The pharmacist types, stops, frowns. It's flagged. Eliana blinks. Flagged? Insurance verification needed. Her chest tightens. She can't miss a dose. The pharmacist shrugs. I'm sorry. A pause. It's the system. The word hangs there, heavy, behind Eliana. Someone sighs loudly. Another voice whispers, maybe she should go back where she came from. Eliana does not turn. She keeps her eyes on the counter. She will not cry here. She will not give them that. She leans closer. Quiet. Please. My daughter has a heart condition. The pharmacist hesitates. For a moment. It almost looks like compassion. Then she shakes her head. Policy! The line behind Eliana shifts again. More sighs. More whispers. Then, a calm voice speaks behind her. Run it again. The pharmacist stiffens. Eliana slowly turns. Vasquez stands there, still, silent, certain. I already tried, the pharmacist says. Run it again. A beat. The woman types again. The screen beeps. Approved. No explanation. Just a quiet confirmation tone. Vasquez places his card on the counter. Charge it. That won't be necessary, the pharmacist says quickly. It will, Vasquez replies. Outside the pharmacy, cold air rushes across the sidewalk. Eliana turns toward him. You didn't have to do that. Yes, he says simply. I did. She studies him, carefully. You don't even know us. Vasquez glances toward Maya. The girl clutches the pharmacy bag like treasure. I know enough. Then he walks away. just like that, leaving more questions than answers. Across town, Richard Harmon slams his office door. "What do you mean the prescription cleared?" His assistant shifts nervously. "We can't control everything." Harmon begins pacing. Sharp steps, polished floor. "Then control what we can." He stops at the window, looking down toward Eliana's building. "She'll fold," he mutters. "They always do." But something uncomfortable moves in his chest, because he's heard the whispers. Vasquez was seen near her. And men like Vasquez do not hover, they decide. That afternoon, Maya walks home from school. Her backpack hangs loosely on her shoulders. 2 kids follow behind her. "My mom says your mom is a criminal. She's getting arrested." Maya keeps walking, eyes forward. "Your building's getting torn down." One of them bumps her. She stumbles, but she doesn't fall. When she gets home, she says only one thing. "School was fine." Eliana knows exactly what that means. She kneels, pulls Maya into a tight hug. "I'm sorry," she whispers. Maya looks up. "For what?" Eliana breathes slowly. "For the world being unkind." Maya studies her mother. "You're strong," she says, "so I'm strong too." Eliana smiles. Through tears she refuses to let fall. "And if you've ever felt like the world decided who you were, before you even spoke, I hope tonight reminds you of something. Dignity does not come from approval. It comes from endurance." That night, the pipes burst. Water floods the hallway. Tenants shout, doors slam open, someone curses loudly. The landlord arrives, 20 minutes later, shaking his head. "Unsafe conditions." Eliana stands in ankle-deep water. "This wasn't like this yesterday." The landlord shrugs. "Old buildings." But Eliana sees something in his eyes. Fear, not of her, of someone else. Across the street, a black SUV waits quietly. Vasquez watches the chaos. His lieutenant stands beside him. "Lee, they damaged it deliberately." Vasquez nods once. "Of course they did." "Say the word," the lieutenant says. "We end Harmon tonight." Vasquez exhales slowly. "Not yet." "Why wait?" Vasquez watches Eliana carry Maya through the flooded hallway, her clothes damp, her shoes soaked, but she does not yell. She does not complain. She adjusts Maya on her hip and keeps walking. A memory flickers behind Vasquez's eyes. Another hallway. Another leaking ceiling. His mother packing boxes, no one stopping it. He inhales slowly. Still, he waits. The next morning, Eliana arrives at her cleaning job. 2 police officers stand near the entrance. Her supervisor won't look at her. "What's going on?" One officer steps forward. "We received a report of stolen property." Her heart pounds. "That's impossible. We need you to come with us." People begin staring. Phones lift. Whispers spread. Cold metal closes around her wrists. A sharp click. The sound echoes in the room. And if you've ever been judged before anyone asked your story, I hope you remember something tonight. Your struggle does not make you small. It means you kept going when life tried to stop you. Across the street, Richard Harmon watches from inside his car, satisfied. Pressure works. He adjusts his tie, smiles faintly, until he notices something else. Across the road, a black SUV. Vasquez stands beside it, not intervening, not speaking, just watching. And the look on his face is not anger. It is calculation. The police station is quiet, too quiet. Fluorescent lights hum overhead. Eliana sits on a metal bench, hands clasped tightly together. Her wrists are red from the cuffs. Across the room, an officer flips through paperwork. Stolen cleaning supplies, he mutters. Another officer sighs. Seriously. Eliana lowers her eyes. She has learned something about humiliation. It is loud when it begins, but quiet when it settles. Minutes pass, then more minutes, then an hour. Finally, a door opens. A man enters, grey suit, calm posture, quiet authority. He places a folder on the desk. I'm here regarding Eliana Reyes. The officer frowns. And you are? The man slides a business card across the desk. Silence. The officer reads it. His posture changes immediately. Oh. Another pause. Then, she's free to go. The cuffs are removed. Just like that. The officer clears his throat. Looks like the report was mistaken. Eliana rubs her wrists, confused. Who helped me? She asks. The officer gestures toward the hallway, but when she looks, no one is there. Outside the station, Eliana steps into sunlight. Maya runs toward her, arms wide. Mama? Eliana kneels, holds her tightly, breathing in her daughter's hair. Safe. For now. Across the street, Vasquez stands beside the black SUV, watching, just long enough to confirm she's all right. Then he turns away. And if you've ever felt like someone unseen stood beside you during your worst moment, even when the world was against you, I hope you remember this truth. Sometimes help does not arrive loudly. Sometimes it simply arrives when you need it most. Across town, Richard Harmon storms into his office. Why was she released? His assistant hesitates. Someone intervened. Who? The answer hangs in the air. Like thunder before lightning. Vasquez. Harmon freezes, just long enough for the name to settle. Then he laughs, dismissive. Nobody scares me. But the assistant is not laughing. You should cancel the demolition. Harmon scoffs. Tomorrow morning. His voice hardens. That building comes down. Night falls. The old apartment building is quiet again. Eliana sits on the balcony, eviction notice resting on the table. 30 days. But she knows Harmon will not wait. Inside. Maya sleeps peacefully. Eliana whispers into the cool night air. I don't know how to stop this. Across the street, a black SUV parks silently. Vasquez steps out, looks up at the building. The lieutenant beside him checks his phone. Demolition crew arrives at sunrise. Vasquez nods once, then finally says the words his men were waiting for. Prepare. The lieutenant smiles, slowly. About time. Dawn arrives. Grey clouds hang over the city. Bulldozers roll forward and steps forward. You can't do this. A steps forward. You can't do this. A foreman shrugs. Orders. Harmon's black car pulls up. He steps out slowly. Suit perfect, shoes polished. He smiles politely. Miss Reyes, he says calmly. I warned you. Eliana's hands tremble. You're destroying people's homes. Progress requires sacrifice, Harmon replies, his voice smooth, cold. One inspector lifts a document. Stop all. One inspector lifts a document. Stop all activity. The foreman lowers his hand. What's going on? The inspector turns toward Harmon. This demolition permit is fraudulent. Harmon's smile fades. That's impossible. Another officer steps forward. Mister, Harmon, we need you to come with us. The crowd gasps. Cameras appear. Phones record everything. Harmon's voice rises. This is ridiculous. But the cuffs close. Sharp. Final. The sound echoes across the street. Through the crowd, Vasquez watches quietly, hands in his coat pockets. The lieutenant leans close. You planned all of this? Vasquez shakes his head. No. Then what happened? Vasquez watches Eliana hold Maya tightly as the bulldozers shut down. I simply gave the truth a chance to arrive. Eliana finally notices him, standing across the street, calm, silent. Their eyes meet. For a moment, neither speaks. Then Vasquez nods once, respectfully, and turns to leave. Because sometimes a protector does not stay for applause. If this story reminded you that strength exists in quiet places and courage often lives inside ordinary people, then I hope tonight you carry that reminder with you. And if someone in your life is walking through a difficult season, maybe send them a little kindness. Sometimes that is the protection people need most. 3 weeks later, the city has moved on. News cycles changed, headlines faded. But for Eliana and Maya, life slowly begins to breathe again. The demolition was stopped. The building stands. Repairs have begun. New pipes, new wiring. Even the hallway lights finally work. Utter for the first time in months. Eliana sleeps through the night. One afternoon, a letter arrives. Heavy paper, gold trim. Eliana opens it slowly. Maya watches beside her. What is it? Eliana reads silently. Then again. Then a third time. Maya tilts her head. Mama? Eliana smiles faintly. We've been invited to a charity gala? Maya's eyes widen. Like a princess party? Eliana laughs softly. Something like that. But inside, she feels something else. Confusion. Because the name at the bottom of the invitation is familiar. Vasquez Foundation. That evening, the ballroom glows with chandeliers, crystal glasses, soft music. The city's wealthiest names move between tables. Richard Harmon once ruled rooms like this. Tonight, he is nowhere. His trial begins soon. Fraud, intimidation, illegal development permits. The rumors say the evidence was overwhelming. No one knows exactly who uncovered it, but whispers carry one name. Vasquez. Eliana stands near the entrance. Her dress is simple but elegant. Maya holds her hand tightly, eyes wide at the giant room. Do we belong here? Maya whispers. Eliana squeezes her hand. We belong anywhere. We walk with dignity. Across the ballroom, Vasquez watches, quiet, still, the same calm presence he always carries. His lieutenant leans close. You're not going to speak tonight? Vasquez shakes his head. This isn't about me. A host steps to the microphone. Tonight we honor quiet courage. The room quiets. We often celebrate power, money, influence, but sometimes true strength. He pauses, looks different. The spotlight moves toward Eliana. Gasps ripple through the room. She freezes. Mama, Maya whispers. Eliana swallows, then slowly walks forward. The host smiles gently. Miss Eliana Reyes. Applause fills the room, not loud, but warm, respectful. The kind of applause that acknowledges a battle fought quietly. Eliana takes the microphone. Her voice trembles at first. I don't know why I'm here. Soft laughter, then silence. But I know what it feels like. She pauses. To stand alone. To feel judged. To feel small. Her voice steadies. But I also learn something. She glances toward Maya. You are never as alone as fear makes you believe. Across the room, Vasquez listens, expression calm, but his eyes soften. Because the truth is simple. He never wanted credit. Only balance. After the speech, Eliana walks through the quiet hallway, away from the crowd. Maya runs ahead toward the dessert table, and that is when she finally sees him. Vasquez, standing near the balcony, city lights behind him. You helped us, she says quietly. Vasquez shrugs slightly. I corrected a problem. You did more than that. A pause. You protected us. Vasquez studies the skyline. I made a promise a long time ago. What promise? Another pause. Longer. My mother once stood where you stood. He looks at her now. Alone. And no one stepped forward. His voice is calm, but the memory lives inside it. So I decided, if I ever had power, I would never let that happen again. Eliana's eyes fill with quiet tears. Thank you, she whispers. Vasquez nods once, then steps away. Because protectors rarely stay after the danger ends. Across the ballroom, Maya suddenly runs forward. Wait, Vasquez pauses. She holds up a small bracelet. My doctor says this keeps me safe. She studies him. You're like that. Vasquez kneels slightly. Eye level. Like what? A protector. The room grows quiet. Vasquez smiles faintly. Then promise me something. Maya nods. When you grow up. Protect someone else. Maya grins. Deal. Later that night, the city lights glow softly. Eliana and Maya walk home together. Their building stands strong behind them. Not perfect, but standing. And across the street, a black SUV waits quietly, then drives away, disappearing into the night. And if this story found you tonight, maybe it found you for a reason. Because somewhere in this world, someone is standing exactly where Eliana stood, feeling unseen, feeling unheard. If that person is you, I hope tomorrow brings you strength. And if life has given you power, even a little, maybe use it to protect someone who needs it. Because the world changes slowly when ordinary people choose courage. And if stories like this speak to something inside you, you're always welcome here. More stories are waiting. Stories about courage, protection, and the quiet strength that changes lives. Until next time, take care of yourself and someone beside you.